Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to
Hi,
Hearts and
everybody.
Caring. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And today is Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. And look, the sisters are here with me. I have Sherry, Voices from the Swamp. I have Valerie, Dragonfly Crystals, and Next Level Channeling. I have Sharon from Strawberry Rhubarb and Allie from Heart and Soul Connected.
So you have a Canadian sandwich here. You've got Marina as one piece of bread and me as the other Canadian piece of bread, and we have our American friends in the middle.
In the
That's
middle.
the filling.
Sherry's got the
Or
Cajun
it could
flavor.
or it could be an extra creamy, thick Oreo cookie, right?
It could be that too.
Yeah.
It could be that too. So, hello, everyone that has come in, that has joined us. I'm very glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. And Steve Watt says hello from down under.
Oh, cool.
And hello from up here in Canada. Yeah. Someone send some rain. It's on its way to you. It's on its way.
Yeah,
So
we've got
just
lots of rain, which is great.
yeah. So just wanted to say hello to Bora Bora. Hello, Bora Bora, Janet. We have got Janet P, Ginny F. Hello, Steve Watts, Froxy Roxy. Hello, Froxy. Marby Gangora. Barb's Wheel of Fortune. Joyful Journey. Hello, happy Wednesday to you too. Laura Hammond. Barb's Wheel of Fortune. Debbie Knows. Starfish. Hello, Starfish. Barbara Nesper.
So Barb's
Mousy.
Wheel of Fortune says she has snow on the way.
Yeah.
She's sending
Yeah.
snow.
Too early.
Yeah, we've already had snow. It's finally gone, like from the accumulation, but it was around for a while. So
I'm
yeah.
back to wearing shorts again. That's how warm it is.
Hi, Garnet.
It was
So
like
yeah,
a
we've
week
got
ago I'm in
Kimber,
triple
Pisces
layers, and
Reader.
now I'm in shorts and t-shirts. And they wonder why we're sick.
Yeah, Carolyn Booker. Okay, Rita T. So hello. Morgan the Void. That's an interesting name. Hey, Rossi, Book Bewitched. Okay. And we've got some Watcher 9997. Hello, everyone. So listen, before we get into the discussion, and it's a good one, okay? Just wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping, and just to kind of remind you guys and to put it out there that we will generally put out a call for questions on Saturday, Sunday, a few days before the Wednesday show. And, you can go to the thumbnail that goes along with that, and you can post your question. And a lot of you have been, and I'm very thankful that you do that. I would ask you, however, to please start being specific in your questions, because what we're getting is a lot of, what message does Spirit have for me? In terms of what? It could be anything. It could be from, Watch Your Mail Publishers Clearinghouse is sending you a notice to, make sure your insurance is up to date because your house is going to be on fire in 24 hours. It could be anything in between, right? So when you ask your question, be specific. And I know, and I don't like to do this, but sometimes the only way that people learn new things is through the school of hard knocks. So if I'm picking the questions and you're not specific, I'm not going to answer your question. How's that? That way, everybody jumps on board and gets on it real quick. So the other thing is, we all love what we do. We all love sharing the messages that we get for you. We love sharing them with you. And when we have sort of
Yeah, I know.
the same group that is asking the same questions, it makes it sound and it makes it feel like there are um, like like we're not really being heard, like we're just the entertainment, right? We're the flavor of the day, and yeah, go over there. So
Can I just say, ladies, can you mute this? There's a lot of back noise here. It's really not good. Can't hear Marina.
Okay, whoever it is, if you could, just mute that. Thank you. So just keep that in mind. Be specific. Be respectful of the fact that this is, I mean, we all do these readings for money. So when we are giving to you, we're giving because it's something that we want to share with you. If it ever gets to the point that it feels like it's kind of being taken advantage of, then, we might find that the questions get less and less, and we won't be quite so easy to accept them. So just rule yourselves accordingly. Okay. Now, having said that, the question that we'll be discussing today and kind of looking into is, how do we handle our own spiritual journeys or our life path when doing so causes tension in terms of family traditions, opinions, or values? And I think we've all kind of come across that, where we have somebody who questions what we're doing. And it particularly comes up, I know, if I'm doing readings for someone who is, maybe not part of the community or whatever, and maybe they are from a different cultural background where things that are kind of no-brainers to me take on a lot more importance in their culture. Okay. And by that, I mean, like someone who is from a culture that doesn't believe in divorce, and they might come to me and say, you know what, what do I do with my partner? It's not working out, and they're verbally abusive, and they're this and that. Well, my brain automatically goes to, what do? You pack a suitcase and you walk. That's what you do. But there's cultural things that go along with that decision for that person that I may not be aware of. So that falls in line with that. How do we do the spiritual journey when when traditions and things get in the way? So let Miss Sherry, you're right there next to me. We'll start with you.
Okay.
What you got to say?
I was thinking about that this week, and as far as family goes, I've been very fortunate in that while my son and my brother and my nephew don't believe in any of this, they know that I do, and they know that I'm serious. And so they have truly been a good foundation for me. They've gone out of their way to provide me the space and the privacy that I need. I think probably I get more maybe kind of weird looks or pushback if it gets mentioned at work and someone brings up, oh yeah, Miss Sherry reads tarot cards, and I'll get people to give me this side eye look, like they don't quite know how to take me. Especially when it's students and stuff or faculty from other cultures that would look upon this as being either an evil kind of witchcraft or evil or something along those lines, and I'll kind of get that kind of weird vibe off of them. And so and some people I might explain a little bit, and some I just let it go. It's not worth trying because you just get a feeling. if they're even willing to listen to what you want to say, or if their mind's made up, it doesn't matter what you say, they're still going to think what they're going to think.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It's I think my biggest critic has been myself, of just not being sure that what I was feeling was coming from spirit and not just something out of my head, you know.
Mhm.
We probably all go through that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to date, so far, I've been very fortunate. The readings that I've done have been people that kind of come from this world or believe in this world. So
Yeah.
it makes it easier to kind of read for them because they already kind of understand the woo-woo language that you might use and not think about the fact that if you use it, they may not know what you're talking about. Because I have caught myself doing that, you know, saying something and I get this blank look and it's like, oh, okay, they don't know what I mean by this. So, but I think it's just one of those things that you just kind of have to take it one individual at a time. You know, what response do you get, you know? If I know at work, if some people look like they're gonna like really freak out about it, I'll laugh and make a joke out of it. And you know, like, oh yeah, I'm your local witch. Come see me if you want me to stick a pin in a doll or something. And then they laugh and they go on about
Yeah.
their way because they think I'm not serious. And so and sometimes that's the only way you can get out of it.
Yeah.
To prevent, I guess, confrontation. I don't deal well with confrontation. It makes me physically ill. So
Yeah.
if I can get out of saying something and making it a problem, I'm gonna backpedal and do the best I can to back out of the room and okay, whatever you think is fine. That's just me though. So
And yeah, Garnet, you're right. There's a lot of people who do think that it's more associated with something else when it's really not.
yeah.
How about you, Val?
Can't hear you.
Yep. Still muted.
There it is. No, had to take my mouse is working improperly and I have to put it takes me a long time to get to the
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like so slow. I move it and then I wait. But anyway, that's another story. So what I was trying to say is in terms of working with clients and say somebody's saying, you know, my husband, culture, divorce, blah, 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 blah. They talk about their 3D story, which we all have. And so when they're talking to me, it's about their spiritual journey. I don't give counsel on the 3D story because once they say whatever they want to say to me about, sounds like I'm supposed to make a decision for them about their own life.
Yeah.
I asked my guides and they said, you stay until you can't stay. That's their advice. No advice necessary. Experience is the best teacher. And then they say, on the other hand, someone outside your situation is like a light on your path. And then finally, be in truth for your own soul, fulfillment, happiness, joy, heart, self-actualization. So you cannot actually give advice of a relationship nature to somebody who is asking to abdicate their responsibility onto you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what their social or mores are around marriage or any of that. That doesn't even matter. It doesn't even come in context. But if they're talking about their soul journey, what are they learning? You can talk in positive terms about all of those things. but you can never make a decision for someone. And it sure sounds like someone like that is reaching outside to say, make it okay for me to leave. And I'm going to say, you said it. I mean,
Yeah. There is
abdicating responsibility for their decisions. And you really don't want to disempower people. So you let them run their life and you can give spiritual guidance. How do you meditate? How do you connect with your guides? How do you look at the bigger picture? What am I learning in this situation? I'm done.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That's certainly a different perspective. And okay. Froxy Roxy. Oh, wait. That's not the one. The one that I wanted was Leia, who had great proverb. They who watch the game see it more clearly than the players. And very true. Very true. So Allie, what's your take on this?
A couple of things. The first thing in my research that I've done over the many years of going to school, I learned that most people want to be told what to do. We might say no, we wouldn't, but the truth is that people want to be told what to do because it takes the onus of responsibility off their shoulders. And so then they can blame you when they fall apart. So, it is an interesting conundrum because a lot of us that are spiritual do not want to be told what to do. We know we have our own free will and we like to use it. I think the worst place that I've had to deal with judgment of spiritual beliefs is in me being a Buddhist. People that I've gone to high school with, and I don't really care about their opinion. It's been 50 years. But, I had something up about the Buddha and they said, you need to be Christian. You need to bring Jesus into your life. You need to read this book and I said, no, thank you. I said, I've done all that. I'm very happy where I am and what I'm doing. I don't have a desire to change. And I was bastardized by everybody was attacking me. And I just said, goodbye on Facebook. I don't need to deal with you people anymore. Yeah. But that seems to be the place people like doing it. And I had it also at a job I had. They were very Christian and they said it all the time that they were very Christian and it was a Christian company and nothing against Christians, please. But, we had Buddhists, we had Muslims, we had Jews, we had a lot of clients. And so, to me, it was to be diverse. That's my biggest thing. So I just think people need to choose what it is they believe in or not. And it's really nobody else's business. So I don't know if that answers the question, but I do know that people do want to be told what to do, but for entertainment purposes only, you make your own decision and you have free will. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do what we can.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I think my kind of the angle that I was looking at, and without going into detail, I'll give, example. Someone who is, who would call themselves Christian, but they believe in a different faith. They are, their relationship is not working out. However, if they were to leave this partner, the family on both sides would automatically ostracize the person leaving.
Oh, gee.
Because it's not something that is done in that particular culture. So it's a case of you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And at what point do you say, okay, you know what? I am willing to lose my family, to lose my support system and everything that I know in order to be a happy person versus I'm going to tolerate this. You all know how bad it is. You can all see how bad it is because you're all part of it. And yet you're holding me responsible for the actions of someone else. It just doesn't make
to thine own self be true. That's Shakespeare said it, but he was right.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Claudia,
You
absolutely
can live
true.
in a
You know
glass
what?
house and
If
shouldn't
you're
throw
don't
rocks.
don't tell me how Christian you are. Show me how
Show
Christian
me.
you are.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't tell me.
that's right.
Yeah. If you have to tell me, it's like the person who has to tell everyone how much they have committed to I've given to this organization and I support this organization and I just made $1,000 donation. Aren't I a good person? No, because you're telling everybody about it. That doesn't impress me.
Right.
Right. I want to be impressed by what you do when no one is watching.
Well, and if you go back to Christianity, Jesus was the one that said, let those that pray do so in private, not publicly for, people to say, oh, what a great prayer this person is, or, or the fact that he pointed out that the woman who gave her last 2 cents,
Right.
her donation was worth more to God
Because that's all she.
than the
Yeah.
thousands that the rich people were given, because they were giving to show off while she was giving
Yes.
because it was all she had.
And he was Jewish, so
Yeah. There you
Exactly.
go.
So he wasn't even a Christian. He was Jewish.
yeah. Yeah.
How about you, Sharon? What's your
Well,
take?
what came up for me is I came from an Irish Catholic family, and when my father got out of the Navy, came out. Come on, Taffy. Sorry.
That's okay. I had an opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, she's very vocal. He came out of the Navy an alcoholic, and he was spending his days not going out. He had a little business where he fixed furnaces, but he wasn't doing that. He was going out to the local Legion, which I don't know if you have those in the States, but the Canadian Legion, where they serve cheap drinks, and he just got blotto every day. He wasn't, and my mother and father had 4 kids to look after and to feed and to house, and my mom was just beside herself. She went out and got a part-time job working at a theater, the candy counter. Anyway, she was having a nervous breakdown, and finally, even though my grandparents, very staunch Catholic, and the aunts and uncles and so on, they had an intervention. They came and took us out of the house. So even though divorce, this is back in like 1960. So you just didn't divorce. Catholics didn't divorce.
No,
but it comes to that
exactly.
point where you have to do something. That the welfare of children are involved. So my mom went on her own, and the thing is, those good Catholics that would maybe have something to say about it, well, their husbands were hitting on my mother. She was very beautiful.
Yeah.
And she had to fight off many of the husbands. So anyway, she had her fill of the Catholic faith.
Yeah.
So, I think you just have to be very respectful of a person's faith. And I think, as Val said, you stay until you can't. If it's, I don't know what to tell you. You have to make that decision. I'm not here to tell you to leave your husband. It's totally something you have to decide. And you have to decide whether your welfare and the kids' welfare probably is it worth it? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
And there come a time when it's not worth it. And hopefully you get out before. I can think of some religions where, the wife is very, killed. An honor killing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's hard, it's tough, but it comes down to what is good for you and your children.
Yeah. And I can certainly see it from the other person's point of view in that,
absolutely.
This is something that, like you say, with the honor killings and whatnot, here, what support can that person anticipate receiving from their family and their community? If the mindset is that, no, you're you will do everything and anything to ensure that what people perceive from the outside looking in is positive. That's living a lie. That's
Exactly.
you're not being authentic to yourself. You're not being authentic to your beliefs. And yet at the same time, I can understand the fear of them saying, well, what choice
Absolutely.
do I have? What choice do I have? When everything that every support system that you have ever had or encountered is just boom, cut off from you. It's like you don't exist. It's hard. It's hard. So yeah, that was like I had said to you ladies in the email, it was something that was coming up for me this week more than once. And I thought, it's a good thing to maybe take a look at and just to see how other people's views are. And I think I think you guys have given me something else to think about in terms of, I can be supportive, but I don't have to
I can't
be
tell you what to
overly
do.
encouraging in one way or another, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
almost made that mistake with a student several years ago when I first started working at the university. And I had a young lady come in, and she was not doing well in her classes. She was on the verge of flunking out and losing her scholarship. And she was very unhappy. And she had come to speak to the professor whose office I shared at the time. And as she, he wasn't in at the moment, and she was there and was upset. And I asked her what's wrong, and she just, boy, it all just came pouring out.
Yeah.
And she was miserable in studying computer science. She didn't want to study computer science. She hated it. She didn't, And I said, well, then change your major. And she says, oh, I can't do that. I said, why not? And she says, because my father says I have to study computer science. She was a young lady from India. And I went, well,
Oh boy.
he's not the one in school. And then the little bell went off in the back of my brain saying, different culture, different culture,
Yeah,
different
ding,
culture.
ding, ding.
Back off a little bit. And she was
Don't
like,
touch
oh,
it.
but, yeah. And she was like, oh, I could never, because, he would cut me off. And I said, well, as I start backpedaling, trying to deal with this issue, and I said, have you told him how you feel? And oh no, I would never do that. And I said, well, how can you expect him to maybe see it your way if you don't talk to him?
In that culture, there is no back talk or conversation.
Right. That's what I told her. I said, maybe you can find a way to approach it and just bring it up that I would really love to study this as well as the other. I said, maybe put them together.
The father is
and
the
she
word.
did. She went to her dad.
Did he change?
Christmas break. She went home Christmas break because I didn't know if she was going to do it or not. And I felt really bad. I told the professor about it afterwards. I said, I may have screwed up. And he said, well, let's just hang and see what happens, because he's done it himself. And he's a foreign professor,
Yeah.
She came back from Christmas and she was just on the moon. And I said, well, boy, you're in a good mood. And she said, my father let me change my major.
That is
I went and talked to him and told him how much I really wanted to. She wanted to do fashion design.
Yeah.
And
I am shocked.
And she said, but I can tie that in with the computer science because we use computers in order to do the fashion design. And so he was like, okay, well, if you stay in this not quite so high and tough computer science major, but a little bit lower, you stay with that and add your others. As long
he didn't give up his computer science. Okay.
No, he didn't give up his.
No, but they came to a compromise.
He allowed her to make adjustments.
Yeah.
And she was ecstatic because she was like, had I not have talked to him, I would still be stuck and I would be flunking out and being sent back home. And, and I said, well, I'm glad. I said, I was hoping I didn't get you into trouble, because my American brain was like, you don't want to do that. Don't do that. You just forget that, these kids come from a much different culture than we do.
That's like talking back to your father. He already told you what he wanted you to do.
And so it kind of hit me that maybe she was his favorite, that
he didn't have to give up his thing. He just lowered the level of it. So he's okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
she's happy too. So a good compromise.
Yeah.
That's
he allowed her
situation. Yeah.
So because she didn't want to go back home yet, because then she would be getting married if she didn't finish school.
She didn't
want that either.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm not putting my mouth into that one.
That one. It's a football. That's a whole other thing.
Flying into another country ready to beat me up because
that's like a contract marriage, arranged marriage.
Yeah.
And by the way,
that's a good thing. We should do a show on organized religion, and just so that we can maybe talk a little bit more about the some of the truths in organized religion that maybe they don't want us to discuss. Some of the things that are still happening in organized religions that I think we've moved past. So that could be a really, really good thing to talk about. So we do have some questions. We're at 31 minutes. So let's see if we can't get into. And speaking of Leia, she had a question, and it is, what can any of you dear ladies comment on Alzheimer's is as it pertains to the realm they experience while having the symptoms? Are they in 2 dimensions? That is a really, really good question. And hello, everyone that has come in. I'm so glad you're here. I see Captain Morgan is here. Secrets of the Red Moon came in. Colorful Foresight. Oh my gosh. So many of you. Christine Fryer. Tarot Ass Backwards. Hello. Patty Fitzgerald. Yeah, I'm really glad you guys are all here. So, shall we pull some cards on this?
Could I just say something that I just saw today? It was a British documentary, and it was about these Alzheimer's, but also mental illness in the elderly. And so they had treated this fellow, and then he was sent home, and they were starting to become concerned that his thinking was becoming what's the word? He was having delusions, hallucinations, that kind of thing. Well, you know what he said? He was walking with a community worker that was, watching him and having discussion, also deciding whether he needed to go back to the hospital or report back to the doctor. Yeah. Do you know what he made was perfect sense? He says, I want to go home. And he wasn't talking about his physical home. He was talking about the realm. Now, looked like this documentary was 10 or 12 years old. And he said, all these buildings, all this covering the earth and everything, we've done a real disservice to the earth. And he was going on like this. And he said, I'd rather go home. And, what he was saying to me was, made perfect sense to me. And yet they thought he had mental illness.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was spending some time in the other realm as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I wanted to say was,
I think that certainly warrants spending a little more time thinking on it.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely true. There are some people that are here that are, from the moment they're born, they know that they belong somewhere else and they're longing for home.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
He was
it's
really
part of
longing for home, his true home.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. What you got, Sherry? What do you have for Leia?
Well, I pulled from the Healing Waters. It says clear waters. And it says clear vision, confirmation, right timing, opportunity. Having dealt with not Alzheimer's, but dementia for 10 years with my mom, I am convinced that, just from personal experience, that they are in two different realms at the same time, because especially the further along she got, there were things she would do and say that, we would all be like, well, she's obviously not seeing or hearing something from what's happening in the house. But at the same time, I'm thoroughly convinced that there's a part of them who somewhere back up in their brain, they know what's happening. And it's very upsetting to them. And and they can't express it. They can't let you know that they know. And so it's very hard on the families, but even those who work with people with dementia or with Alzheimer's, I'm thoroughly convinced that most definitely they're aware of both realms.
How about you, Val?
Okay, so I got the thinker. You notice these boxes he's sitting on? Well, they're like chunks of memory where he goes, they go, and they stay in these memories and make them come alive. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. They go into their memories and they stay in these live memories. That's what happens. Is there another part of them? Of course, our soul isn't fully all the way into our bodies. We exist.
Yeah.
Just because our minds are going through this thing here in 3D land, we're multidimensional beings. But I believe the space that they exist in is their imaginary memories that they're bringing to life. They're going back and living in those memories. So it's a lot's going on, more than one thing.
Yeah. Excellent. How about you, Allie?
I got the perfect card, and I think it's so funny because the picture is of the Buddha, of all things. But the message is really good. It says, I am not this hair. I am not this skin. I am the soul that lives within. Beneath the surface, looks can be deceiving.
True.
So I'm saying, wow. In other words, they are aware of what's going on, but they can't express it. It's just impossible for them. But the fact that they're talking to the soul can go anywhere it wants. So it just may not be able to articulate that. So how beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely. Karen?
I have to tell you, when my father was dying, I came in. I think I've told you ladies this story before, but he was dying. He was in the hospital. I went to go see him. And there was this set of metal doors at the end of in the corner of his room, and there's no handle on those doors. I just thought it was an electrical something behind there, that they didn't want patients to get into. And he says, I've been watching all the old classic movies, and he named a few. And he said those doors, and And the way he described it to me is those doors were the ones in a movie theater that go out to the alley. So they don't have handles on the outside. They're just meant to be open from the inside to let people out. You know, there was another way to get out.
Yeah.
And so well, that's great, Dad. You know, and he was talking about these movies. So we had a nice conversation. The next day, I walk in there. Those doors aren't there. And so I backed out of the room. I looked at the nurse's station and I thought, they're just the same distance that they were the other day. And I actually went up and asked them, I said, have you moved my dad? Changed his room? Oh, no, same room. And I went back in the room and I thought, oh my God, I was part of his journey to whatever realm that was, right? He was, as you were saying, Val, the living memories. That's what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The ones that they
So-
wanted to relive or love the most.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He was thoroughly enjoying these classic movies. So I pulled 2 cards from the deck that I've made, my personal deck. And this is thinking, okay, making decisions. But I see this as what you said, those memories. And look at this. The second card is 2 hearts. So yes, he's in 2 dimensions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Miss Tara, thank you for stopping by,
Oh,
even
hi,
for a minute. Thank you. And you know what? To kind of close things off, in this I pulled from the Witching Hour Oracle, and it's dance. And the message of dance is freedom. So I think that, yes, when they are in the full experience of Alzheimer's, we can see it as sort of a decline in the person. And we make value judgments about what it must be like for them, where it could be very freeing for them. They are no longer bound by the problems and the issues that are of the world. They can go back, they can live with their memories, they can enjoy them, they can relive them over and over and over again. And yeah, they can be absolutely free. So I think that I would say instinctively, yes, they are in 2 dimensions. They can go back and forth between the 2. And I think that they choose the times when they come back just to let us know that they're okay. And then carry on with whatever it is. Yeah, absolutely. That Leia, that is a excellent question. Thank you very much. That was just fantastic.
That was lovely.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have got. Where are you? Okay. Carolyn Booker wanted to know what is next in my journey from my spirit guides. And I think, Carolyn, are you still here? If you could just, yeah, just let me know that you're still here. And yeah, she kind of explained earlier that, yeah, she just wanted to know what was next, what she needed to focus on next. So, yeah. Oh, yes, she is. Yes, she is. Okay, perfect. All righty. So, what is next for Carolyn? Are you ready, Sherry?
I made a 2 days ago. I made a.
Val, if you want to go ahead and go, you can. I'm still trying to shuffle here.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm real fumble fingers tonight.
I actually, Carolyn, I pulled the crystal skull for you. which
Ooh.
is really about transmission of energy. It's that crystal magnification and receiving and sending. But it says clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energies. So for you right now, you're just in an extremely powerful time to receive in dramatic energies that are coming in through the end of December. And this is just the state of allowing this to happen. So it's not like you have anything to do besides just hang out and let it happen, because it is happening.
Excellent. And Alec?
I will. Oh, go ahead, Alec.
Okay. Carolyn, I have the Sacred Traveler cards here, and I pulled out that you have the wondrous universe in your hands. You are the wizard who can make things happen. And there you go. Like that crystal skull, whatever it is that's meant for you is open for you. And it says to walk in beauty. Walk in beauty as you go along in this magical, wonderful universe. You're going to see a lot of things.
Nice. Okay, Sherry, go.
I pulled life experience, Archangel Shamuel. Is that how you say it? Talks about a significant life event taking place. And I think that there is something kind of really major that's headed your way, if it isn't already happening now. But just kind of keep your eyes open and be aware of what's coming for you. I think it's something really good.
Nice. And Sharon?
Carolyn, I see, I pulled from my personal deck. Here's the jail card. It's time to open up that door and not hold yourself back. And when I saw this card, I immediately saw you standing in this bright sunlight. The sun was so bright, and this energy emanating from it. And it's time for you to stay in your own truth and look at all this energy here. It's definitely, you don't hold yourself back. You walk into the light. It's there waiting for you.
Okay. And I got the blood trail, and the message of this card is magnificence. And it's funny, what Sharon says about the light, because look at the light surrounding that person in the middle. So Carolyn, what Spirit is saying here is believe in your own magnificence. You've had a little taste of it. And sometimes, even though you do believe in it, there are those days when you go, I don't know, maybe I'm just imagining this. No, you're not. You are you are coming into your own magnificence. So just go forward knowing that you are totally supported. Yeah. Wow. That is just a lovely, lovely message. I like that very much. Okay. And where are we? Rita says, although I treat myself better, what should I change to be a better being for myself? Better being for yourself. What should Rita change? And Rita, are you here? Just before I get into, we're going to get into the reading. Let us know that you're here. And we'll give Rita a few minutes to acknowledge. And yes, Rita is here. Perfect.
And Carolyn says, thank you very much.
You are very welcome, Carolyn. And it is exciting. Absolutely. Yeah, you're okay. So who wants to go first for Rita?
I can go. I pull the water carrier, and the card says, what really matters, reflect and reprioritization. So maybe take a step and cleanse with healing waters, and reflect back on where you need to go next, what you need to walk away from in order to stay on the right path. I'm done.
Val?
Okay. And Rita, this card indicates, this is Sisterhood of the Rose. This indicates that there is nothing that you should do to be a better being for yourself. You are a beautiful being. Understand that, embrace that. Sisterhood of the Rose is beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. Embrace your light and see the beauty that you truly are, a magnificent light.
All right.
Allie?
So, Rita, I got intense passion. Oh, I love it. And it's cinnamon. It's for the fall here. So what I was getting was self-care, of course, and embracing your passion with intensity and focus, and walking into where you're meant to be, because you're right there and you know it. And so to be a better being, you're already okay. You're a great being, like Val said, but we can always be better. And so it is a journey. So there you go, sweetie.
Yep. Sure.
Get out of your head. That's how you can treat yourself better. Get out of your head. Those stinking thinking, the fears that we have. Trust.
Only the
And
ego tells you aren't good enough.
Exactly.
Get better.
Exactly. Get out of your head. And
Head.
trust.
Get out of the head. I like that, Sharon. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Barb's Wheel of Fortune, thank you. Thank you for being here, even for a little while. And yeah, good luck with cleaning your crystals. I can't imagine what.
Sorry
what
to hear
they
you
might
had a
have
fire,
suffered.
dear. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I get invocations. And the message with invocations is the power of words. So this is, it's not only the power of words that you say to others, it's the power of the words you say to yourself. So while, we could always strive to be better than we are, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you where you are right now. So, make sure that you give yourself credit for the work that you have done to get to where you are, and be grateful for that, and know that you are a fully actualized individual right now, and speak to yourself with loving kindness and gratitude. Yeah, absolutely. So I hope, Rita, that is helpful.
Can I just say that hot tamales candies is one of my favorites too.
And I just said that too, because I'm like, oh, my mouth is watering.
Now I want some.
Now I want a box.
Yeah.
I would buy the box, and they're like jelly beans.
Yeah,
they're like jelly bellies, right?
Yeah, I get
And my God, they're so good.
Yeah, and I'm tasting that hot cinnamon.
Yep.
Right away.
And I so want them now.
So thank you, Captain Morgan. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, nice.
And you're welcome, Rita.
Yes, for sure. Okay. Now, Flower Beauty, are you here? I ordered 5-pound bag from my road trip. Oh, Captain Morgan.
You went to Santa Barbara. It's so beautiful there. I used to live there, Captain Morgan, when I was
Nice.
10. Yeah.
And okay. Yeah,
Flower
Flower
Beauty's
Beauty,
here.
if you're here, you can let us know. We'll wait for a minute or two. And if not, okay, we'll go on to the next one then. And Lalima, if you're here, can you just let me know, because I'm going to need a little more than a message from your guides in terms of what, sweetheart? Yeah. So we're going to need just a little more. So Lalima, if you are here, let me know, and we can do that. And if not, then ladies, we are done.
All right.
We are
Thank
done.
you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. A great
There
show.
you go. So yeah, and next show is Sharon is going to be hosting. And then just wanted to remind everyone that the week of November 20th, we are not going to have Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. We're also not going to have messages for light workers because it's the American Thanksgiving, right? So it's the day before Thanksgiving and whatnot. So, I might come on and do something, and maybe some of my Canadian friends will come on and maybe we can do something. But yeah, our friends down south are going to be celebrating. So what we're going to do is just move everything forward, or move everything 1 week ahead. So
when am I doing it?
You're doing it next Wednesday on the 15th.
Oh, next Wednesday. So the 15th. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Sherry and Val and Allie, for spending time with me and for spending time with all of us. I value your opinions and I value your guidance. So, and thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for sharing part of your evening with us. So on that note, we'll say see you later. Hasta luego.
Sayonara.